Is it too late to add something to the Christmas wish list? Huh? Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Sticks. In this box is a Power Sports watch. This thing is awesome. I will put it right now on the list of the best watches of 2018, even though the year is almost over. Let's take a look. It's got built-in GPS, heart rate sensor. It's got the ECG plus HRV thing going. And this was what I was excited about when we looked at something really similar a while back. It's water resistant, full color display, and has sleep tracking built in it as well. And this is it. It was originally called a P1, I believe. And we did a review of it. And then I kind of captured it toward the end of the year in the best ECG type watches, except it wouldn't put out. I mean, it put out, but it wouldn't put out a wave chart, you know, the heart wave chart that all the ECG watches would do. Well, this has been redone, revamped, and reissued by a totally different company. And wow, what do you say when an old watch comes new again? Shazam? Ta-da? I know. Viva! Like in Viva Las Vegas, right? Okay, Viva! This is a revolutionary new, watch. Getting into it is one thing, I tell you. It's, there, get the TPU band off of it, and pull it out of the box, there. Okay, Viva, not just Viva, but, let's make it even more impressive. Dr.VIVA has come to the rescue and presented us with, I'm not kidding, folks, Dr.VIVA, that's the new company. A GPS running watch, smartwatch. It's got fatigue analysis in it, along with the heart rate, sleeping stuff, IP67 full waterproof. Here's information about it. It is in Amazon. Yep, you can go right to Amazon and buy this puppy. We'll have a link in the show notes, and I got a discount for you. They've already sent me something to notify you guys about. And we're going to go through this because this thing is hot. It really is. I've been having fun with it. It's got built-in GPS, okay? So when you do your fitness stuff, you don't need to take your phone with you. It will pull all that stuff together. It's got 7 different running modes and 17 different sports modes. Okay, that's pretty wild. It dynamically does your heart rate monitoring, and it has heart rate alerts with a continuity monitor that monitors your heart rate 24/7. It has heart rate variability analysis that will show you your fatigue state. And I found it really effective and worthy of having. When I start to get fading in the evening and I take my reading, my fatigue level is up. It's got incoming call reminders, all your tethering kind of stuff. You've got up to 5 to 7 days of battery life when you're just wearing it normally, and a full 8 hours in GPS mode, which can track you anywhere you're going for 8 hours and then transfer that over to an app. Cool. Oh, by the way, the app not only can have all that data in it, but you can export it out to a couple of other apps, one of which is, closer, Strava! Strava! Viva Strava! Dr.VIVA can export to Strava. Wonderful. We have been looking, I know a lot of people have, for a device that could export to Strava, and this one will do it. Working temperature, package includes, and all that kind of stuff. So here's the unit. Here's the charging cable, which is 2 pins out of a whole series of holes. It's got a bunch of connectors down there, but it really only uses these 2 for hookup. Magnetic coupled. Yeah, we've got a booklet and a contact thing. Tutorial video is on here. We've got, if you have questions, the email service and all of this stuff. And again, this is now a Dr.VIVA product. Power Sports Watch. Device overview. Wow, it's a thick booklet, but let's quickly look through it. Instructions on how to get started. There are many different options on this. It takes a while to learn how to swipe up, down, left, right to get into the different areas you want to go into, because it does do a lot. It has all that kind of sports stuff in it with the countdown and get yourself linked onto GPS. And it's got the ECG or EKG. I believe it's the same thing. They're just different spellings of it. One is German, right? EKG. But it's also known as a electrocardiograph, ECG, and safety information, and that's it. And then we're into the other languages. Okay, I'm going to strap it on, and well, let's take a quick look at it. We've got a sensor down here. You see that little sign there? That's where you touch one of your hookup points, and the other ones are on the back here, right there. You see these metal plates? Those are the electrodes. That is your charging. Where is it? Your charging area that you connect into, like that. You've got a button on the side here. You've got two buttons up and down or back and forth over there. And then you've got a swipeable screen. Really nice TPU band with lots and lots of holes on both sides. It's going to fit anybody's arm, huge or small, breathable, just an excellent overall watch. All right, and clear this out and we'll turn it on. We fire it up this way, press and hold, vibrates a little bit, says hello. In the matching yellow, there's a lot of coordinated color stuff here. And boom, it's up that fast. This is one of the many different watch faces. By the way, that's another update thing. They revamped a lot of the different watch faces over the earlier version of this. We even have Fahrenheit temperature in here, date, time, the whole works. Let's just walk through here quickly. If I slide down, I get into some history of my step counts for the day. I wore it a little bit today. 1/12 of the day I actually stood or moved around. You know, this is sedentary kind of a monitor. Make sure you're actually standing up. Ideally, at least the waking part of the day, right? There's an energy component in here, which is the killer calories, the killer calories of your walking, and then it loops around again. So you've got these three screens in a loop this way. If I go this way, I get into the sports section where I can do a run, cycling, fast walk, climbing, and then these typical sports like basketball, badminton, table tennis, soccer, and so forth. Weight, sit-ups, rope jumping, and even yoga. Wow, dance, athletics. Look, swimming is in here, ice skating. Nice, all sorts of goodies. When I go this way, I'm getting into the health stuff now. I can compute heart rate, your ECG, and your fatigue right from this screen. And I can go over here and get into a menu of all sorts of other stuff, like your messages pushed from your phone, different events from your calendar. It's got a stopwatch and timer built into it. And overall settings where you can pick your watch face, we'll go through that, define what a long press will do, turn on Smart Track, turn on or off 24-hour time on your display, set your do not disturb, and 24-hour time. How that differs from that 24-hour, I'm not sure, but you have all those things there. Then languages, brightness. Let's do this at least, show you that at its dimmest it's like this. But check it out as we brighten this puppy up. Now remember, the camera's going to stop down the background to try to compensate for the brightness. This is super bright. I want you to see the screen. Look at that. Look at that. That's yellow, but you're not seeing that because the camera can't even pick it up. It's so bright. You'll see this in direct sunlight. Wow, that is for sure. Look at that. Okay, we got to get back over here to the brightness and tune that puppy down. Settings, right? And all the way down to brightness. And then there's an about thing for the watch too. I mean, I was running it down here like just a notch or two above zero. Let's look at about the watch. That's a QR code that you scan that invokes that number that you use for tethering to your phone, I presume. Although I don't think I had to use it for tethering. Anything else? There was a reset down at the bottom as well, right? Under settings, and I think that was everything. So you've seen all of the stuff that's here in the watch. We haven't gone into any of it. I got to strap it on to do that. But before that, I want to just bounce you over to the Tethering app to give you a quick look at that as well. I'm really trying to make these shorter reviews. Here's my step count. I can just do this to once I'm tethered to it, and it's easy to set up the syncing, although it said it just failed. Yeah, you just got to get the GPS or the Bluetooth thing going. You got your overall step count and calories burned. You've got the different activities here that you can do right from the watch. Mountaineering, running, all this GPS stuff. Here's last night's sleep information. Now this is interesting because it's saying that I was in light sleep most of the night with a little peak of deep sleep and a couple of times being awake. I kind of remember getting up during the night. I don't know about the depth of my sleep. Might have been worrying about doing so many reviews before Christmas. Anyway, here's some of the statistics that come out of that. And then, this is where this app gets fun, you can actually evaluate it yourself. And if you're honest with yourself, you can put down whether you ate late or had alcohol or did workout, studied, these kind of things. And then it gives you a little bit of sleep quality analysis right here. Tells you a bit about things you should be aware of for sleeping. That's in the T tab. In the D tab, this is last night. I got 76 as a score. I got up after 8 hours and 10 minutes. Total sleep time, 8:10 a.m. I fell asleep at midnight, almost 1 a.m. Maybe that's why. That's the total and breakdown of the sleep for that particular day. And I don't have any other days to show you, just last night. And then this is a deeper look at just last night. You can write notes to yourself here. You can send this stuff out. And there's my overall score for that night's sleep. And that's in that category. Then down here, I've got the heart rate. And this is today. And I really haven't been wearing it and doing stuff today. Do I have yesterday? Is there a way to get to yesterday? Here's where you get the breakdown of how many minutes you spent in all these different zones. Your activity heart rate would be displayed here. Your average, lowest, and highest are there. And yeah, here's yesterday. I got a little bit of waveform there. And look, I can see over time what the heart rate level was. And again, I don't have any zone-specific stuff. And these zones and the range that they're in are all dependent upon what you put in for your age and weight and gender and all that stuff too. So it can be calibrated to you. The fatigue index, we'll show you that on the watch. When you tap that thing, it gives you a fatigue score. And here's yesterday. There's yesterday. I have a few different entries in here. And I don't think you can get into them. They're just a summary score number, and there's other places I believe you can read about that stuff. But that's using that heart rate variability that is in your pulse that this thing picks up on. An update from that is you used to have to touch the electrodes and get it through the electrodes for your fatigue index. And that's been updated now and improved with the algorithm so it can do it just with the diodes on the back, and you don't need the electrodes for that. But you do need the electrodes for your ECG. And this is where I'm super excited and want to rank this as one of the best, if not the best, ECG watches on the market right now. Because you can, without your phone around, set this thing up and do a live 30-second capture of your heart wave. And you can keep more than one, it appears, in the watch. So if you're out working out, you start one a baseline before you warm up. Then you do your warm-ups. Then you do your exercise. Then you hit your peak, and you're taking these readings all the way along. You can get some basic information on your heart wave. Now, are you ready to go deeper down the rabbit hole? I got mixed feelings about this. I'm happy there's this new technology coming, and I'm going to really season this heavily with a grain of salt, okay? Like a whole salt shaker, take this with a big grain of salt because there's an artificial intelligence engine in here that will look at your heart wave. Now, this is really new. Nobody else is doing this. Apple wouldn't even get close to this, I'm sure. There's AI in here. When I invoke AI, I just touched my little sliding thing. That's not part of the app. That's my brightness, so I can get the right brightness for the review here. Touch it on the side. I have 15 times in a month that I can interrogate the artificial intelligence engine to evaluate my heart wave. This is a heart wave that I did yesterday evening when I was just testing this out. I went into the AI and I got a feedback. And so this is what I got. It said sinus rhythm. Sinus rhythm is any heart rhythm which originates from the sinus nodes. It's normal rhythm. Well, that's good. And then it said there was atrial flutter, a kind of rapid which occurs in the avide, and the impulse frequencies is faster than that of the atrial recordigi. The electrocardiogram shows a disappearance of a P wave and the appearance of an F wave with the same size, shape, and spacing. I could understand every now and then I get an F wave coming up. And I may have had one yesterday afternoon. Well, anyway, there you go. A diagnosis of a condition based on a wave coming from a smartwatch using artificial intelligence. Did I mention take this with a grain of salt? And I will disavow any knowledge of your action if you do anything that makes any of this believable to you that you'll take action or not take action as you should. Consult a doctor, okay? Or your medical professional. We're in serious territory now. That's why I got mixed feelings about this. This is really, really cool. And it's really, really dangerous as well. Note, the above diagnosis is given. Diagnosis, they're even saying, is given by the artificial intelligence diagnostic algorithm Cardioalarm, which is for reference only. Please refer to the hospital diagnosis concludes. Oh, I'm sorry if it's off screen. Yeah. Excellent, interesting, fun, scary, but don't rely on it. Don't rely on it. I'm going to do one of these in a minute, and you'll get to see what it does and how it works. So that's the AI reading. You get 15 of those a month to play with, and that is everything in this tab. Up here, you've got your step count stuff for today or other days, calories, the stand-up thing. I think all of these are different tabs, that you can go to for live. I got to get a shorter phone or a wider camera. Here's details. All of that's there. And then here's the D thing where you're getting your history from today and yesterday and so forth. And your stand-up and so forth. So that's all in here from that first tab here. This is all where you go in and you can set up something, let's say a speed walk. Click to reload. Okay, this must be your actual exercise activity as transferred from the watch to the phone so that you can review it. And what did I say about Strava? Did I mention that somewhere? Well, we're going to get there. Let's go to device down here and push that button. So now we're in the device tab, and you got all these different things. You can set alarm schedules, sedentary reminders, and smart reminders right here from the app in the phone that'll push to the watch that will then do those alarms for you from the watch. You got an easy camera, selfie kind of a thing. You've got vibration reminds, all these different types of vibrations, how many times and cycles it will vibrate for you for different things. You can change your date, your weather, palming gesture. This is the turn your wrist to light up the screen. You can set it to go on at 8 in the morning and off at 6 at night or whatever time you would like. You can wear it on your left arm or your right arm. You can change from imperial to metric and back. And you definitely want to do a firmware upgrade because, folks, this is the magic firmware that will work with all of the features we're talking about on this device. When you get it, it's not updated. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you get this whole thing tethered together and this charged fully is to go in here and execute a firmware update and bring it up to 1.2.0.21 is the latest version. Okay, that had nothing to do with Strava. I want to play with that. Let's go over to Profile. Here we go. You've got who you are. You can set all of your stuff in here. I just left it generic. Your goal setting for weight and steps are available there. Help, get more products. Link, there you go. Link, here's where you can, is that in focus? Are you seeing it? You can choose Google Fit, you can choose Strava, you can connect to your Strava account, and all of the data that you're collecting on here then is now going to be available through the app on your phone to be pushed to Strava. And folks, that's how you get it from a smart device to your particular chosen app. And this is one of the rare ones we've seen that uses Strava. A lot of them use Google Fit, but Strava's a bit more sophisticated from what I'm told. You have a 101 guide. This is where you can actually, and these are apparently all the different devices that will tether with this app. This is the P1, and here's the manual. The manual we just went through, I guess in like PDF format that you can work with. Cool. You can get more products, all of that stuff. And we went into settings, right? Yep, that's where we did all of this. Oh, this is a different settings. This is this app settings as opposed to the settings for the watch. It really is confusing and deep. There's overall background settings depending on what watch that you've got. I'm getting network errors for some reason. Change your password. These are your unit measurements for the app, different than what we saw in here. You can upload a log, I guess, and so forth. I don't know. And then you can sign out of this thing too, where I've already got it set up and logged in under myself. Okay, we did all that. Yeah, this is the stuff that applies to the device, and that settings was to the app, and then this is your informational page of all the stuff that's in here. Okay, we're back. Now, if you're still watching this, I might be able to do a contest and give one of these away. And I'm only going to give it to people who are serious and have watched this far in the review, because I want you to remember the 3 words I said at the beginning: Shazam, ta-da, and Viva. Now, if I have a contest, you're going to need to use those 3 words somehow in the contest in order to qualify to get the device. I may or may not mention that you have to use secret words. So if I don't say you have to have those 3 words in there, you got to put them in there if you're really going to be qualified, okay? It's a little hidden Easter egg in this review. I just want to make sure that those that are really serious about wanting one of these will be the ones that will actually qualify to get it. A lot of people just enter contests for whatever. Anyway, okay, here we go. We're going to go from here to heart rate. I want to show you. Heart rate is basic heart rate. It's using the optical diodes to interrogate the blood flowing through your capillaries, and you're coming back with your heart rate information. It's simple as that, and it'll just go for a while. Now, fatigue is a little bit different in that it's going to have a longer time that it analyzes you. And you see this little bar thing going across the bottom. It's taking a while to get started because it's calibrating with the ambient light shining in and the reflected light coming out, and my yaps trapping and my traps yapping, and I'm not holding that still, although I should be stiller. But it's coming across here, and it takes it about 30 seconds or so. And what it's looking for now, different than the heart rate, was just counting beats per minute, right? And it didn't really care as long as it got the number of beats. This is looking at that more important thing about how much spacing is there between those beats. Are you going beat, 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 like that? Or are you beating, like a reggae dancer, right? Is it regular? That comes back with your fatigue level. Now, it's stored on the band, and it'll be transferred over to the phone app later. The higher the score, the better. I tend to be in the 70s when I'm kind of normal, if you call this normal. Mrs. Tix doesn't. But then, I don't know, she's attracted to the abnormal, I believe. So that's fatigue. And now, I'm good and sweaty because it's hot in here, but you want to make sure you got moisture on your wrist and you got this thing tucked in nicely. And you tap on ECG. And it's really down here, but they're showing that you kind of grip both sides like this. And when you do, all right, I'm going to lick my fingers. When you do, all right. Oh, okay, there it goes. I was going to say I got to get my arm wet too. It's going to do a similar thing to the fatigue in that you see the bar starting down across the bottom, and it's going across. Now, I'm going to take my fingers off and do something like that and put them back on again, because when I transfer this over to the app, like a magic trick, I want you to see that the heart wave is not consistent, that there were a couple of interrupts in the middle of it. And that was me doing that. So now it says it's finished, and please go to the app to view the results. Now I could bail out of here if I want to. I could go do other things like come in here and start a run and set my heart rate alert if I wanted to in these different zones. So if I want to be in the aerobic zone, it will monitor that and notify me if I'm outside, too low or too high. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Huh? Is that cool? You've got an Illuminiron. I have no idea. Whatever. Okay, and you could start it, and it's looking for GPS. And once it acquires the GPS, you go into the open area. You can begin. And yeah, more things here to play with. I'm just giving you a taste for what can happen. Okay, and then of course you got all of these things over here to go to. So we transferred an ECG there, or we stored it to the watch, and now we'll go ahead and transfer it over to the app. So we bring this guy over, we pull it down, and we refresh. We give it a moment to come in, pull in the new data all across the board, and we go down here to the ECG area, and it's about 1526 now. It was at 1524. Oh, shucks, it says no data. Maybe it's still downloading it. Now, it said it's synced, and there you go. There's the heart wave that we just captured on my left arm. I don't know if you noticed, the other ones were pointed there. There, you see, there's that funny interrupt, and they're pointed up. If you looked at the other ones, they were pointed down. There's the places where I took my fingers off. And if you notice, there's a setup where you can say whether you're wearing it on your left arm or your right arm. Now, I had it set to be on my right arm, but I just put it on my left arm, and so I'm getting... Anyway, it's complicated. But if you got everything set up properly, then you should get a nice heart wave. Okay, that's the ECG. This is all of the other stuff that's in here. This is the device itself and how it looks on your arm. And I think we've covered everything except to remind you that you pick this puppy up from Amazon. Just go to Amazon, use a link down below. It'll tie you over here to this GPS running watch from Dr.VIVA. Yay! Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Las Data! Viva Las Data! There you go. And yeah, give it a try, because at this price, it's really reasonable for all the things it can do with built-in GPS, with connection. Boy, I sound like a salesperson. I gotta stop this. A lot of people say I'm just too hyper about these things, but I love this one. I will put this on the top of the list as far as ECG goes, because of everything it can do. It really is a worthy watch, and I'm very, very happy I've got it here. Thank you, Dr. Viva, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again soon. Oh my goodness, I forgot to show you guys all the different watch faces we have. Here's a digital one. Here's a nice little analog watch face. Here's one with a little bit more data on it. There's a nice digital with kind of the circular kind of thing. Here's one with your calories burned if you want to watch that. There's the one we've been using today. I like that one. Here's a bright, bubbly one if you want something like that. Here's another colorful one. There's a different circular one, all kinds of them. Here's numbers with outlines around it. You can have 24-hour or 12-hour time to display, and it's going to show you these thumbnails at the actual time and exactly what they'll look like. Fahrenheit, centigrade, whatever it is that you want to set as your main one. Let's take that one. That even shows you down to the seconds. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to leave that part out.